Hi, my name is Victoria Clark-Hedges. I had my baby daughter at Neath Port Talbot Birth Centre on the 2nd of October. Well, I'd been in labour for about 4.5 hours in the house, so I'd been in touch with the birth centre and I'd seen a midwife at home. And I came into the birth centre about 4 p.m. and from then on it was a very one-to-one experience. I had one midwife with me more or less the whole time, and I had the baby by 8 o'clock, so it was quite a quick experience and really positive for me. It was far better than I expected, far easier and much more relaxed. I think throughout my pregnancy people had told me lots of negative things, and people tend to tell you all the things that can go wrong. I was quite relaxed about the labour itself, and I hadn't sort of read up on loads of things, so I sort of came into it with an open mind. But because it was so quick and it was a very one-to-one experience and there was no complications, I found it extremely positive and much better than I anticipated. They were here when I wanted them to be here, and they also gave me and my husband some space as well. I had the baby at 8 o'clock in the evening, and then we stayed overnight. And because the birth centre was quite quiet, we had the opportunity of staying a second night, which was really nice as first-time parents. It was nice to know that there were staff here who would come in and help if we needed to. So I had somebody come in and show me how to bath the baby, help me changing the baby, and help me with breastfeeding. During my pregnancy, when I told people that I wanted to have the baby at the birth centre, a lot of people did say to me, you know, are you sure? Is it safe? There's no consultants, there's no doctors there. Do you think you'll be well looked after? But I always had the confidence that there was sufficient experience by the midwives in the birth centre, and I certainly felt that that was the case when I had the baby as well.
Look how quiet he is now. Too much hair he's got.
It's like his daddy.
Yeah, totally.
You're aware that there were no doctors here. Did you feel safe knowing there were midwives here?
I had total faith in all the midwives. From coming round after the antenatal classes, that if there should have been any problems, that they would have been on the case straight away and got her to wherever she needed to go. But after seeing the place, I had no questions about it. I thought this would be the best place, this one to arrive.
It was, and I was in an hour and a first, but as I said, after we had the antenatal classes, we came for a tour of the birth centre because it was quiet. And when we were asked, you know, where we were going to deliver, one of the girls said, I said, oh, maybe I'd need an epidural, so I'd have to go to a hospital. And she just said, you know, well, don't start expecting things to go wrong before you've even started, and that put into context then. And it made me think, well, yeah, I don't need to think along those lines then, so think more positive. Yeah.
Holding tight under the arm, lowering down, lowering down, lowering down.
I'm Maggie Davis, I'm a consultant midwife in the ABMU Health Board. I've been a consultant midwife since 2004 when I came to work in the freestanding birth centre in Neath Port Talbot. In the 8 years that Neath Port Talbot Birth Centre has been open, just under 4,000 women have laboured or given birth here in the birth centre. In that period of time, only 2 women have actually experienced a major hemorrhage. Both mothers are now home with their babies and both doing extremely well. On both occasions, the doctors in our consultant-led unit congratulated the midwives on doing such an excellent job of managing that obstetric emergency. The majority of reasons why women are transferred from a birth centre is for failure to progress either in the first or second stage of the labour. It's not that we're concerned about mother or baby, it's just that labour is not happening as fast as it can. Occasionally and very rarely we do have emergencies, what we call acute emergencies. They happen in less than 0.3% of times, and we do a lot of intensive training with the midwives so that we're ready for those emergencies. And the midwives stabilise over the mother and the baby, and they transfer the baby to the consultant-led units so a doctor can see them. And we do all this training very often, at least once a month with the midwives within the birth centre, once a year with the whole of the midwives within the health board. The Department of Health in England commissioned a research project that looked at women, healthy women with normal pregnancy, giving birth either at home, in a freestanding birth centre, in alongside birth centre next to the obstetric unit, or in an obstetric unit. Their conclusion came that for this cohort of women, it was 64,000 women that they looked at in England, there was no difference between freestanding birth centre alongside birth centre and the obstetric units. So we know that freestanding birth centres are safe, and this piece of research that we've got is a big piece of research, and it's telling us that freestanding birth centres for normal, healthy women experiencing a normal pregnancy are just as safe to give birth with the midwives than they are to go into a consultant-led unit.